Sean O'Hare will kick it away. And a touchback, and Dylan Raiola will start.
And now they have a firm relationship going into this season.
The star running back is Emmett Johnson, and he gets the first carry of the day, and it's a big one.
He's trying to find the right combination to keep Dylan clean.
Back to the run game for Johnson, weaves his way through a couple more tackles, and back-to-back first downs. Last week, this Maryland defense had to face Jonah Coleman, and they get another dose of a really good back. Look at the dancing from Johnson.
They like to get after the quarterback and create negative plays.
Raiola to throw for the first time, and it's Ja'Cory Barney, one of his favorite targets. Isaiah Mosey is the back, and Raiola can't quite connect.
They're excited to get back on the field today with a chance to bounce back.
Second down, and Mosey gets hit immediately and brought down after a short gain. Levant. Emmett Johnson back onto the field for this third down. Raiola gets it out quick. Barney, the playmaker, makes a man miss and gets knocked out shy of the line to gain. Raiola. And he'll get it. And he gets stopped. The Maryland defense rises to an early occasion. After his defense got a fourth down stop, he's going to keep it on the RPO, and that gets stuffed immediately. He's in the game right now to his right and going in motion for Washington to throw it out to Jaleel Farouk, who's been a yak machine this year, who is not here with the team, missing his fourth straight game with injury. Third down for Washington, and that is snagged by Octavian Smith, and a first down, a big conversion. That's Shalik Knotts, and not much going on there.
Look for Malik to pull it and dump it onto the outside.
DeJuan Williams stumbles down. That play was Washington checks down Fleming, the tight end, and he gets stopped about 5 yards shy, and it's fourth down. Washington will run it, and looks like he didn't get there. We'll see where he's marked. These two programs have ever met, each with a fourth down stop on defense to start the game. Now, Quentin Ives has come in at running back for the first time, and Dylan Raiola is going to throw it and complete it to Isaiah Hunter, who had a big catch and run last week, and he's breaking off another. Hunter is in. What a run! 64 yards for the Nebraska touchdown.
Running down the sideline. It's still on that run last week, guy with one shoe. I think he was top 5 fastest ball carriers on the season. So I'd love to see the numbers this time with both cleats on his feet.
Wow, how did he stay in bounds and score with all the traffic around him? And Phil Hicks, the field judge, with one of the most athletic touchdown signals you've ever seen. We talk about players hurdling. Do we talk about officials hurdling? John Hull is on to kick it off for Nebraska. They used both Hull and the place kicker Kyle Cunanan for kickoffs. Ricardo Cooper will return this for Maryland out to about the 23-yard line. Second possession for Maryland, and they start with the run, and DeJuan Williams straight ahead, because that's a reference everybody, you know, immediately what a guy is saying when he describes a player like that. Washington, and that play blown up in the backfield. Washington throws behind his intended receiver, Nolan Ray.
He looked unsettled then. Now playing Nebraska, that's their defensive identity as well. Looks unsettled once again.
Now Bryce McPherson to punt it to the very dangerous Ja'Cory Barney, who turns his back on the catch, and now after the U-turn goes nowhere.
I'm scared to guess the trivia. I've been having a rough time with the trivia lately.
Emmett Johnson, who had a couple big runs to start this game, but did get stopped on a fourth down. So I'm willing to give hints. I'm willing to give hints. Emmett Johnson back to the ground again, and this time Jalen Husky comes up. At this moment, though, a third down for the Maryland defense. Emmett Johnson, first down. He is running hard today.
He's a guy that does everything for the offense. He's a great pass catcher, dynamic weapon.
Hunter again, and Hunter cannot make a spectacular catch because he's interfered with. The flag comes in. Dana Holgerson's offense, to that point, Jake, they are not giving this Maryland defense, who's very good rushing the passer, a chance to tee off. Barney with a couple of plays before now a tight end in the game. And he's blocking in front of Johnson, runs right through the hole that Heinrich Harburg, when he arrived on campus as a quarterback, blocking one of the best young pass rushers just a few years later. If only somebody had given Jake Butt the chance. Raiola all the time in the world just sitting and standing, and now a flag comes in. He was trying to get it to Dane Key.
Pass interference, defense, number 14. The ball will be placed with the spot on the foul. Automatic first down.
And watch him working right there. And
Harburg's going to keep it, running behind a couple of tight ends, and Maryland's defense all over that. Second down after the Nebraska timeout. Pressure coming off the edge. Nebraska picks it up. Dane Key the catch and the touchdown.
he just was in the wrong position.
Pass interference, offense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, second down.
There he is on the bottom left of your screen, looking like he's going to run a little bit of a wheel route, and watch as he's trying to break back into the middle. I mean, he just runs right into Glasker.
You can see Emmett Johnson explaining, I was looking for the ball. My head was turned, so it wipes out the touchdown, and now they're going to set up the screen. Johnson trying to get some of it back, breaks out of the tackle. Wow, and gets 5 more yards after the contact. Kevin Humes, you know he's going to be hard to tackle. Third down. You need to get all the way down to the 3 to pick up a first.
Maybe a double move, otherwise a screen or a draw.
Movement and flags. Well, this drive didn't start, but it had.
Full start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty.
They don't have to run a play before the end of the first quarter, but they will. And that gets batted away. Kyle Cunanan to start this second quarter with a 43-yard field goal attempt, which he makes. Malik Washington so well has been recruiting him since he was in 8th grade. The question is, can they find the recipe to get him going here in a 10-0 hole? After that 10-play drive for Nebraska, time to regroup for Maryland's offense, and Washington's going to pull it down and run. On the first play, he slides.
Football.
Caleb Webb tackled, and it's now third down. Nolan Ray got a good block and a first down. The tight end, Leon Houghton.
Doesn't allow him to substitute or get into some of the more exotic play calls.
3-man rush, and Washington can't connect at the end of the game last week, the win against Michigan State. Washington gets this out quick to Nolan Ray. He's able to break one and get a few yards to make it third down and manageable here. Washington throws on the run and drops a dime to Caleb Webb. Going. See if that throw gets Malik Washington going. Now checks it down to Ray, who's having a good drive for Maryland's offense. He's been some pressure, and Maryland beats it with the run. There's Ray. He's free for the Terps touchdown.
That gives Nolan Ray some space out to the edge, and he's got the speed to knife through the defense and finish with a touchdown.
He took over on that drive. And now Sean O'Hare for the extra point. After the Maryland touchdown, Isaiah Mosey's going to bring it out for Nebraska, break a couple of tackles and get yards on that drive for Nolan Ray, including that touchdown. Isaiah Mosey with that carry. And Raiola, you see the numbers there in the lower left-hand corner, started 5 of 7 throwing. Attempts for the 8th time today, and this one's picked. Messiah Delhomme.
Look at his eyes. Nebraska's running just like it's like an all-hitch concept, and Delhomme is just sitting there.
Last week, and now it sets the offense up at the 35 for DeJuan Williams. He was a Steel recruit.
It was important. I know it's a devastating loss, but now this is an opportunity to get back on track because the future's certainly bright for the Terps.
Jalil Farouk in the Wildcat, and he's going to take the direct snap, run into his teammate, and then get piled up. Washington has plenty of time. The headset communication now is cut off, under 15 on the play clock. Gets it out to his back. Williams stumbles and is able to regain his feet and pick up the first. A couple of tight ends in the game. And an extra offensive lineman. Washington gets it out to Harden, and he brought it down.
About a yard or two of separation down in the red zone, and Washington was able to bang it on Leon Houghton for the touchdown. And all of a sudden, the Terps, they're taking the lead in this game.
His sixth catch. This is his fourth year at Maryland. And that one was a touchdown, the first of his career. Meanwhile, a big return for Kenneth Williams, breaking the game back towards Nebraska. It's a race, and he finally gets tracked down at the 11-yard line, showing off the speed for Maryland.
Kenneth Williams bursting through the Terps kick coverage.
And it's Ricardo Cooper, look at this speed, who eventually saves the touchdown. And that'll be a huge play for Maryland's defense if they can get a stop here. Just what Nebraska needed after the turnover turned into a TD. Emmett Johnson doing his thing.
Nebraska special teams is one of the #1 things that comes to mind.
Raiola keeps a pass play alive, and now will throw a touchdown. That play was almost over, and instead it's a score. Luke Lindenmeyer.
Wow, that looked like there was nothing there, guys. It was good coverage for the Terps for 9-10 seconds, but in the final seconds.
Cunanan on for the point after. Not at elevation, but could use some oxygen. There have been 3 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
About it there. I mean, year 3, Matt Rule, if you're going to take that jump and reach that next level, special teams, turnovers, all those little areas that make such a big difference in the long run.
Iverson Howard will let that. We had a touchback on the kick, but also a penalty.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Return team number 40.
The last thing you want to do is have a personal foul penalty to back you up even further.
Instead of starting from their own 25, it's inside the 15. Washington, plenty of time, and can't connect. 3rd down. Williams-Nwaneri bringing pressure, and that ball through traffic and incomplete. Nebraska blocked a punt for a touchdown last week. McPherson able to get this away and try to keep it away from Ja'Cory Barney, who gets bumped, and now a flag comes in for kick-catch interference. 7 pushed in here.
No, he was not.
Raiola, touch, key, and a first down.
And he has Glasser completely fooled.
Emmett Johnson, right up the gut, and another first down. Johnson is 7 yards per carry so far today. Raiola back to the air, back to Hunter, and he's back into the end zone.
Striping the helmet of number 14, Glasser. Look at this ball. One-on-one down in the red zone.
Hunter had 20 catches, 5 touchdowns last year at Cal. He's got 2 catches, 2 touchdowns today.
Drive, right? Maybe they get him back more involved.
And Maryland's offense will come out to the 25-yard line. You know, you don't need spokespeople, you need leaders. And he's really stepped into an even bigger leadership role here as that screenplay, that's what you call a havoc play.
That's
he
right.
creates havoc. And he certainly did there. DeJuan Williams, after that tough collision, is able to make a catch and respond. They snap it out of there, and now Washington looking to throw, and Fleming has it broken up at the last moment. Nebraska declines the penalty for 4th down, and so McPherson will punt it away to Ja'Cory Barney, who today, then Minnesota up next on Friday night, and then Northwestern. Here's Emmett Johnson getting the ball again, averaging 7 yards a carry. Remember last year,
after the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 98.
It'll be 7-1 going into November.
Here's Mosey getting the carry and spinning and spinning. That's by the way, that
to break through that final barrier, and the schedule sets up nicely for the Huskers.
Raiola pressured, throws it up, and it's picked. Another interception.
The result of the play is an interception. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. 1st down, Maryland.
Yeah, guy, that was on the return. Number 10, Cam Rice, as this one plays out. Here it comes. Here comes the D-tackle, Cam Rice, and the officials are looking right at it.
4th personal foul on Maryland in under the last 5 minutes. And after the penalty is tacked on to the end of the return, there is Nolan Ray. Good to see him back.
It would have been legal 15 years ago, but certainly not today.
Washington gets it down to Smith with room to run, and he's got a 1st down out to the 30-yard line.
I'm keeping an eye on him. I'll keep you posted once I know more.
All right, Brooke, thank you. That is a massive story, of course, as Washington gets it out to Jaleel Farouk, who makes a man miss and gets out across the 35-yard line. And it's Nolan Ray. Nolan Ray, a bolt of lightning across midfield.
One less guy in the box, that opens up the run game.
Maryland with some tempo and out of the reach of Smith. Washington, tough catch from Fleming, and he's got it. Nolan Ray, and he's got the 1st down. The ball back before the half at this point. Washington pressured, jump throw, Ray, and inside the 30-yard line. Washington pumps and connects again with Fleming, and that's another 1st down. The tight end fighting down to the 24-yard line. And now Maryland with its tempo and snaps it quick to the sideline. Did Smith get his feet down? Yes, he did. Washington through the hands, maybe outside of the reach, a 4th down. 3rd down for Washington. Evades and throws, and now it is 4th down. The freshman from Ireland who grew up playing Gaelic football is perfect. Keep it away from 32 if you can, and he'll do that by squibbing it down the middle of the field. And still Nebraska creates a big opportunity and a big return. Good to see Dylan Raiola back after that visit in the medical tent. Pressure off the edge, and he gets sacked by Zahir Mathis. Got outscored in the second half 24-0 by Washington and lost. Meanwhile, Nebraska trailed after 3 quarters against Michigan State, won by double figures. And here's Iverson Howard returning it out to the 25.
And not let that other side, that chirping, get the best of us.
All right, Brooke. See how his team received it as they start on the ground with Williams. He's in right now behind Washington in the pistol. And he gets it. And he is eventually caught by the pursuit. Washington, good pocket, cuts it loose, and Punchnotz with the catch. Nebraska did not give it up a pass play. They'd only give it up 1 pass play of over 20 yards coming into the game. That's the 3rd for Maryland today. There is Knotts again, catch and run across midfield. Now there's Nolan Ray. It's almost like good pocket. And another completion with Fleming. The result of that play was a 1st down to Dorian Fleming. So Maryland 1st down out of the locker room, keeping the ball moving to Williams. A 1st down the sideline. Throwing the ball, they're 7 of 11. They've converted 6, which is good. And now back to Williams. Now, what a drive.
Much more balanced today. That was a big point of emphasis for Pep Hamilton.
Play clock is low. Washington, mobile, first down, and he had the ball come out, and Nebraska took it away.
Let's see, there goes 97, Keona Davis in pursuit. Oh my. Oh. That's 37, Donovan Jones coming in and putting his elbow on the ball.
After review, the runner was down at the half-yard line prior to the ball coming loose.
So many great looks at that, and we agree, right call made. That's what Mike Pereira said. And so now here's the Terps with Williams into space. DeJuan Williams. Touchdown, Terps. They come out of the locker room. They kick the field goal before the break. They come out of the locker room with that long scoring drive for the second. We heard Brooke Kellis and Mike Loxley brought up winning the middle 8, something a lot of college coaches talk about. Matt Rule brought it up this week. That's a great eye, Brooke. What a physical game. It matches what we've seen on the field. Emmett Johnson, fresh legs, takes a big hit. Quick throw, and there is a first down. Well caught by Hunter. Nebraska bringing some tempo and movement. Unfortunately, a little too much tempo. Looked like Luke Lindenmeyer, the tight end. He's looked really good in so many spots, but the 2 picks have been critical. They've both led to points. Here's an inside throw to Mosey, and that gets 2nd and 14. Mosey gets it again. And he gets some of that penalty yardage back and a little more. They bring 3 with a spy. Delayed from Stewart. There's Mosey, and he's able to get the first down. Tough, but the 2 interceptions. Quickly out of his hands, and that's Keenan Smith. Raiola throws his 3rd interception of the game. Dante Joyner brings it all the way back.
Yes, intercepted ball.
Well, you asked it, Jake. Who's going to be the team to make less mistakes in this second half?
Eats at him. He's emotional because he cares so much about getting it right for his teammates. But the staff, they love that fire he plays with. They just want him to learn how to channel that and move on quickly, because when you're a corner like him,
to come vertical back down his stem, but he doesn't. He runs around the bend, and there's Dante Joyner just waiting for the opportunity
for a touchdown. 3rd pick of the day for Raiola. Back to Emmett Johnson, and he breaks out for a first down and developing. But, you know, for Ted Monachino, a guy who spent a lot of time in the NFL, didn't you get the sense when we talked to him, Jake, that he really valued the opportunity to be a part of a player's growth? And then to see it immediately has to be rewarding for that Maryland staff. Johnson. And he gets knocked back, or pardon me, 2nd down. And they'll run it. And Johnson gets upended. Jamari Glesker with his 2nd big play of the day. Now here's Archie Wilson on to punt for the first time today and send it back to Jalil Farouk. And the true freshman back out for the Terps. And to the ground they go for Nolan Ray, and another good chunk for him on first down. Couple of tight ends, 3 tight ends in the game. Back to Nolan Ray, and he churns for a first down. He's carried the ball as many times. Ray again. And another good first down run of 5 yards.
Yeah, you just felt like they got away from it in the second half, and there's what we're talking about right there, is just winning at the line of scrimmage. He said that sometimes in the RPO, you pull the ball and throw it, and he wanted to make sure that they didn't have an even opportunity to do that this week.
Well, Iverson Howard picking right up where Nolan Ray left, and it's another 6-yard carry and a first down.
Just watch this. Just go right down the line right here. This is just day one football. Look at the double teams. You know, and because of the space there on the Nebraska defensive front, that allows 71 Heron to just climb up to the linebacker. All right, it's 1st and 10. I think a play action's coming at some point here, Guy. Eventually, I'll be right?
Well, you played, you know, I know you know. We'll get to this in a second. 1st down. And here you go. Okay, you are right. But what happens when it turns into a run? Even the pass plays are good runs.
Well, that's good discipline, too, by Malik Washington. Is I know he loves to unlock his arm off these big play actions. But, you know, nothing really there initially. Maybe if he keeps his eyes on the field. Watch this dig route coming, number 84, Webb. If he keeps his eyes down the field, maybe you have that 3rd window down towards the sideline. But, you know, I don't mind Malik Washington on 1st and 10. Protect the football and tuck it and run.
6th run, 6th play of the drive, the 5th design run for Nolan Ray. That's so the 4th quarter begins with a 3rd down and 2 for Maryland. Nolan Ray stopped in his tracks. Desan McCullough.
Looks like Nebraska's sending big-time pressure.
They gonna get it off? No, they don't. Was there a timeout taken? Yes.
Delay
no,
game.
there was not. Delay.
Offense.
A bang-bang play either way.
For McPherson, this tough task. Keep it away from Barney, but keep it in the field of play, and he does so beautifully. A game they came back to win. Dylan Raiola hands it off. Humongous hole for Emmett Johnson to sprint through.
Right, it's the emphasis for his team on both sides of the football, all 3 phases. Wants him to finish.
Pressure, flag down, and that's going to wipe out this 1st down catch.
He just
Holding. Offense. Number 57.
hold there, get his quarterback hit.
Play action. Space to fire and connect with Hunter. His 4th catch of the day, but that is Kevin Humes. After a 5-yard gain, it's 2nd and 14.
Well, that was a big tackle by Kevin Humes, too, because, I mean, if Hunter catches that clean, we know he's got the speed. There was some green grass out in front of him. Looked like he was bobbling it initially. I don't think he caught it clean. But a big tackle by Humes nonetheless.
Pressure for the screen. Johnson gets away from Wingate. Cuts back across front of the field. Got away from 2 tacklers there. What a great run.
Man, he is so special. The start and stop ability, the vision to even know where to go with the football. Good luck tackling him. I mean, he's got the ability to make you miss, but then Jalen Husky says, I'll put an end to that with a big-time hit.
133 total yards for Emmett Johnson today. 3rd down. Raiola steps up and picks up the 1st down. Dane Key with the catch.
It's a beautiful job by Dane Key, beautiful job by Dylan Raiola. High pressure situation, reading it as zone coverage. Watch Key sit in that zone out to the right of your screen. They send the running back out to the flat. Wingate vacates that zone. Never a doubt for Raiola, 1st and 10.
And back to the ground. Johnson, if the first man's brought him down today, that may happen once on a 3rd down, on a big 3rd down play. But he's been fantastic. 19 carries now today for Emmett Johnson.
My coach used to tell me, he said, the greatest compliment you could ever receive, guys, to be called a football player. Emmett Johnson is a freaking football player, man. Seriously, he's the type of guy, you wish you had 11 guys on the field that were like Emmett Johnson.
Isaiah Mosey comes in for him now. Raiola gets it out quick. And Ja'Cory Barney got a couple. It might have been with the aid of a penalty. We'll see what this flag is. Dane Key was out there trying to block for Barney. They have not had an easy time getting it to a guy who's one of the most dynamic players in the country, Ja'Cory Barney. He's got 4 catches today, but just for 18 yards.
Holding, offense, number 13. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Second down.
It's on Neziah Hunter.
Just see him right there. Can't miss him. Little bubble screen. Trying to work the double team. And I mean, Hunter, you just can't do that. You can't throw him. The officials are looking right there. It's where the ball carrier is. And right now for Nebraska, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Raiola. And Key makes a tough catch. And that looks like it should be a first down, and it is. So they put this ball down. Oh, that might. They moved the chains. Okay.
It's close.
Very close, but it is a first down.
Once again, zone coverage, and this time Maryland decides to drop Zahir Mathis into zone, and there's Dylan Raiola. Look at the eyes. Never a doubt once again. Loves throwing into zone coverage. And a nice catch, as he said there, guy by Dane Key.
Nebraska's worked real hard just to get the ball out to the 40. And now that's batted down by Daniel Wingate.
To tie this game up.
Raiola 4 of 5 on this drive. And he's going to give it back to Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson just dances his way to the sideline. Husky is the last man there. He allows for help to come get Johnson, who stays on his feet. What a run!
Johnson carries.
A 50-yard bob and weave and fight for Emmett Johnson.
The best football players play with pure desperation, guy. You can't tell me Emmett Johnson isn't playing desperate for every single inch. But how about the technique? Watch him press the hole right here. That's what sets the block. His offensive linemen must love blocking for him because he makes their job easy. And this is what I'm talking about, the pure desperation. When you think you got him bottled up, when you think you got him tackled, think again. Emmett Johnson continually finds ways to squeeze out those extra yards.
Raiola lofts it, and Key cannot quite make the catch. Almost spectacular, and good defense there from Glasgow.
Oh my gosh. I think this was his first play back, right? Because it was just the run, and almost the highlight of the day in a day that has nothing but highlights.
Well, this game is a fight, right? This has been a fight and a good one. Under 9 minutes, just about, here in regulation. Raiola just dirts it. He had a couple guys in the area, Harburg and Johnson. You know, wasn't it interesting, Dana Holgerson, to go back to Emmett Johnson for a moment? He told us, I've never met Christian McCaffrey, but I feel like I know him because Matt Rule talks about him all the time. We mentioned it earlier. He told Emmett Johnson last week,
Please reset the game clock
you're like
to 8
Christian
minutes,
McCaffrey.
53 seconds.
And he is
8-5-3,
doing
please.
just about everything today to make his coach look right.
Thank you.
You can see the similarities and principles. The danger in running the ball, catching the ball.
Third and goal. Raiola on the move. And he gets down to the 5-yard line, and it's 4th down. What do you do here?
Well, that run by Raiola gives you at least a chance to think about it. And here's what you do. It looks like you keep the offense on the field.
This drive started all the way back at the 8. Had some mistakes on it. Nebraska trying to scratch and claw its way back to a tie. Fourth down and whistles.
Delay a game.
Wow.
Offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And here comes the kicking team. Were they going to snap that?
Yeah.
Or were they just trying to get the defense to jump?
Usually that's close, because usually the officials are looking at the play clock. Once they see 0, they look at the ball to make sure that usually you have almost a full second after it hits 0. That was close.
The way that Raiola flipped the ball away, he looked for sure like they were snapping that ball.
Oh yeah, I think they were.
You're just saying you think maybe.
I thought it was close on the delay of game.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Cunanan on for a 27-yard try. And he's got it. Nebraska just kicked a field goal. And so now the question is.
That's a really quality loss to a good team. So across the board, man, some of these Big Ten teams deserve more respect and deserve to be ranked.
And you think about the flip side, somebody is going to walk out. Isn't it amazing? Someone's going to walk out of here losing this game.
Very true. Yes.
And we'll be under 500. We'll be 1-2 in Big Ten play. And, back to your point on Damon Williams, last night, what did he put up? 538 yards of total offense?
Video game numbers. It was ridiculous.
Okay, Maryland.
Yeah.
Offensively.
Yep.
Last week had a 20-point lead, didn't win. This week, can they put a big drive together here with 7 minutes left in the game?
Guy talking about the pain of loss for the losing team here. You feel the desperation showing up in the way both teams are playing.
To the ground, DeJuan Williams, big run, first down, and he slides down across the 40. And let's go to Dave Rebson for a studio update. Wow. The guy with 3 TVs in his basement.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
He's the star of the neighborhood today. There is so much good football going on. Handoff to Williams in a crowded line of scrimmage. He gets maybe a yard.
And then for the middle of the conference here, Maryland, Nebraska, which team is going to emerge? That's the opportunity for this game, Guy.
And Michigan playing at USC tonight.
Well, the success of the Terps team, they put a ton of weight on the shoulders of their quarterback, Malik Washington. 3rd and 6 here in the 4th quarter. You got the lead. What has he got in his bag of tricks here, Guy?
He's got DeJuan Williams beside him. The Nebraska fans in attendance making a ton of noise. Play clock is low. And Mike Loxley took a timeout just before the snap. Trying to do what they couldn't last week, put a game away. You see what he's done so far today. Prolific as it relates to the guys that have come before against this Nebraska defense. Pressured. Pitches it away to Williams to avoid the sack. It gets a couple yards, but it's now 4th down. Javen Wright all over it, and here comes the punt team.
All right, well, let's see what Nebraska does getting the ball back. And let's see here, Guy, if the Huskers, are they going to try to set up for the return with Barney? Maybe they go after it.
McPherson didn't give Barney a chance to return it on his only other punt today. The Go Big Red chants rain down here at CQ Stadium. Barney will return. U-turn. Well covered. Pressured by Fontes. Avoids, lofts, and finds Lindenmeyer. And he breaks out for a first down and more. What a creative play by both.
Man, when you need a big play, why not dial up Lindenmeyer? But this was all about Raiola with the rusher in his face. His center gets beat. I don't know what Justin Evans was doing. It looked like he just let Dylan Fontes go, but Dylan Raiola, he doesn't care about that. He has to find a way to will his team to victory, and he does exactly that.
What a throw. Emmett Johnson's had a big day today. And he's able to get positive yards. You know, sometimes he breaks off 12. He had a great run on the last possession that was huge. But there are times where you go, would somebody else get a positive yard? And he gets 5.
Yeah, he's so shifty. But, you know, I think the time on the clock here is really important because handing it off to Emmett Johnson, it's been one of their best plays all game long. And why it's also important is there's no rush for Nebraska. They're not in an obvious passing situation. They've avoided the clear dropbacks guy, which has not allowed Maryland's pass rush to tee off. So it's a benefit to Nebraska, the ability to have an open playbook.
Raiola stumbled as he let it go, and still Hunter's able to catch it. And he's down to the 22. Nebraska's gotten down the field real quick here. And now Raiola hands it off to Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson has carried the load today for this Nebraska offense.
And there's going to come a point here, too, especially if Nebraska gets a first down, a fresh set of downs, where Maryland's going to have to consider using their timeouts.
Nearly 200 yards of offense for Emmett Johnson, 176 on the ground. Is a career high. Raiola looking, and that is caught.
Oh, wow.
Heinrich Harburg. He used to throw it. Now he catches it. What a huge reception. And it's first and goal.
Well, that is a huge reception in a huge throw by Dylan. Look at the window he throws this into. My goodness. That's the second throw on that sideline, that part of the field that Dylan has thrown to his tight ends. Holy cow, there's 1, 2, 3. He's holding it. Then he drops it late. Yep, that's a catch.
You're saying football move. He's not going to the ground to make the catch. 105 passing yards for Raiola in this quarter. First down and goal. Raiola, Lindenberg. He got caught up coming off the line of scrimmage, and now it's second down.
Yeah, it looked like he was getting held, or at least he was selling that he was getting held coming off the line of scrimmage.
Luke Lindenmeyer already with one big touchdown catch today. Hunter's caught 2.
I think if you're Nebraska, why not go back to Emmett Johnson? Put the ball in the hands of your best playmaker.
Raiola throws into the flat, caught! Nebraska takes the lead. Dane Key. Dane Key only had 2 targets, no catches last week. Such a big addition. Started 36 games at Kentucky. Maryland with a couple of timeouts. As John Hull sends this into the end zone, so it'll be 75 yards away. Washington gets it to Fleming, and he gets tackled immediately. Not much there. Donovan Jones, and Maryland's hurrying up. Washington. Whoa! Shalik knocks a first down, and he stops the clock by going out of bounds with 45.
It's just so casual for him. I mean, he just flicks his wrist and the ball just, I mean, look at this one right here. Nebraska's sitting in zone. And Malik just drops it right into the bucket to Shalik Knox. Important to note here, Malik Washington, he missed all of training camp with an injury, so he hasn't had the opportunity to work a ton of 2-minute situations, but you wouldn't know that from looking at him. Look at his eyes. This guy was at high school prom 5 months ago, guy.
Pressure is picked up. Now it gets to Washington, who evades and is able to throw it out of bounds past the line of scrimmage. Cade Petchak, the freshman, bringing that pressure. Clock at 37. Now a flag does come in. Was he in the pocket? Is this grounding?
Intentional grounding. Offense. Number 7. Lost it down. It's found the foul. Second down.
Well, they need to get somewhere near the 35 to get to field goal range. Pressure again. Washington throws too high for Fleming. And now it's third down.
All right, with one timeout, you can work the whole field here. You'd like a chunk, at least 10 to 15 yards. Nebraska hasn't sent a ton of pressure, so Malik should have time in theory.
You know, normally in this spot, one timeout, is okay. You can get a first down, stop the clock, spike it, but here they're 24 yards away from that.
Nebraska going to have to cover 2 plays here. It's the initial play call and then cover the second play when Malik leaves the pocket.
Washington pressured up the middle, and he connects! Knox has got it across midfield. Clock is rolling, and they will take their last timeout before a 4th down and 5.
So I think it's the good job by the officials not calling anything. Watch shoulder to shoulder here. It's not in the head or neck area, so it's not a foul.
All right, Mike, thank you. It sets up after a 20-yard play, 4th down and 4 for Maryland's offense. Washington from his back foot. Fleming can't make the play. Deshaun Singleton all over it. And for the second week in a row, Nebraska doesn't do it pretty, but they get a win gritty.
That's a great way to describe this game for the Huskers, to find a way to get this win on the road. You celebrate all wins on the road, but for Malik Washington, I mean, talk about a bright future. There is no limit to his potential, and after making so many big-time throws today, guy, he just missed his tight end here. He had Fleming. It's that off schedule, that second down, and just misses him. That's enough separation. I think Malik would say the same thing. That's open, and he just missed the throw.
Hard thing if you're Maryland, you made so many corrects. They were so much better than last week. Meanwhile, for Matt Rule and his group, it's been a while since they won on the road. It's been a struggle for them. They lost 4 straight Big Ten road games, 6 of 7 in the league. 2 longtime friends there. A lot of respect between those two. And for Nebraska now, they are 2-1 in the league, 5-1 overall, and some open road ahead.